Have in the packet. Is there a motion for approval? So moving properly second, is that for both sets of minutes or? Yes. It's been properly moved and second that the minutes for the Rankin-Hinds River Flood and Drainage Control District and the Flowood Lakes Development Foundation for the May 9th meeting be approved as presented. That's the question. Any comments, discussion? Not all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The motion passes. Financial report.
Yes, you have the standard grouping, the packet of reports. First being Rankin-Hinds, showing the balance sheet of where we are as of May 31. Profit and loss showing the income and expenses for the month of May. And as you see, slight loss for the month, but that's in keeping with the fact that tax receipts are tapering off again. Third set is the amounts we paid in the prior month, itemized out. And the next is very small, but it is the Flowood Lake project expenses paid to date. And as you can see, fiscal year is right at $70,000. The final is the docket bills to be paid for approval, totaling $27,247.74. And if you have any questions, I can answer those, or we can move on to the floor.
Any questions? You said earlier that because of tax receipts, well, the deficit this month.
Right.
So how do we overcome that? Is that
It's that the taxes, were collected in the first part of the year, and they'll pay for the rest of the year. So the funds are in the account from prior tax receipts. It's just we typically run a deficit.
oh, well,
Yeah, on a monthly basis at this point.
okay. Any other questions?
And just mentioning the Flowood Lakes, there's no money in the account, no expenses, so those do reflect that, but we want to present those to you as well for approval.
In the fine print here,
Just, the breakdown of all of the expenses that I will put a sheet in there for the Flowood Lake directed expenses, and I'm not exactly sure why it printed so small, but it just breaks down prior year expenses up at the top, and then it shows in this fiscal year. And this fiscal year, it looks like it's, if these classes are working, $70,603.01 is what was spent this fiscal year. But the top part where it just lists the year ended, those are the amounts for the prior fiscal years that was spent, dedicated strictly to the Flowood Lakes project.
okay. Any questions? So, you want to continue or? Yeah?
Just if anyone has any questions or
You need a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Moving properly second that the financial report that was presented be approved. That's the question. Any comments, discussion? If not, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carried. Engineers, I'm sorry, Barlow Walker, the 2010 audit.
you all have that in front of you, the bound report, and this is Ken Walker who will present the.
Okay, all right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have the audit report for September 30th, 2010. I'm assuming all of you received electronic copies of it, and unless you have any particular questions, we're just kind of touching on some of the highlights. Balance sheet shows on page 6. Total cash at the end of the year, $736,000. Net assets, counting the property and equipment, $2,352,000. So in a good, strong financial position at the end of the year. We did spend $22,000 more than was taken in during the year. And on the very last page, there's a supplemental schedule of expenditures that you might dispense with everything else, unless you have any questions on it particularly. And I'm assuming the board will need to look at the report and make a motion to approve it, and a copy of it needs to be to the state auditor's office. And so we'll do that.
Correct.
Okay, any questions of Mr. Walker or regarding the audit 2012?
Just on the supplemental schedule to show engineering and legal fees. That's not the total cost for the year, the additional funds that we spend on those services housed where.
Well, that will be what was spent during that particular fiscal year, and that'll be the total amount for over a period of time. That should be what's in that year. Now, maybe also some additional ones in the Flowood Lake project expenses. Does that answer your question? Or you better want to answer the specific details?
The engineering category is for the district's engineering services throughout the year. The LaFleur Lake project could include engineering and/or, I think we had attorney expenses, those type of thing, but the one under telephone is the district's engineering expenses for that fiscal year, if that makes sense. Which will be engineering services company, Allen Scott's company, separate from LaFleur Lake.
Thank you.
Questions?
On the revenue side, did we get enough federal money in to trigger the single audit act this year?
Didn't have enough to trigger single audit act this year. The taxes was the main amount of income that came in, like 600,000 from Rankin County, the balance behind. But no federal funds this year.
Okay, any questions on the others? We need a motion to accept, I believe, this audit.
So move.
Second.
Been moved and properly second that we accept the audit by Barlow Walker for the fiscal year ending September 30, 2010, as presented. Any discussion? Questions? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank you, sir. District engineer.
Thank you, Chubb. You have a project status report there. Update showing activity Gulf South pipeline, that injection well that they've got on the river side of the east levee. They're going to start moving from today, reworking that ramp and bringing the rig in to rework that well. And they've done all the paperwork and this is already been approved. They were waiting. We'd asked them to wait until we got dry weather to come down the levee to be on the river side.
Wait until
It
we got dry
qualifies. Well, we'd have to back in winter. I think it now qualifies for dry weather. So they're going to start that next month. Kansas City Southern is continuing their work along Old Brandon Road on the siding track that they're putting in. We're keeping in touch with that. The drain system that they're going to put actually through the levee section is scheduled to be done on June 26th. So we'll have folks out there then for that. Lastly, Denbury onshore, they've done their paperwork for the exploration work that they're doing around Jackson here. They come to us and they want to set a couple of monitors up on the levee, on the East Jackson levee, and which falls under the umbrella of what they've already asked you to do and we've already approved. through, no digging or anything like that, it's just a monitor that sits on the levee. They have asked, though, even though they have filled out all the paperwork that the district has required of them, they want you to execute their little standard permit to conduct geophysical survey. So I have a copy of that here, and Keith has looked at it. And so we probably need board action to get the chairman to sign this. They're wanting to start that Wednesday, after tomorrow.
So this is, in addition to whatever documents they have available. I mean,
Yes, sir. When they first came to us and asked all the work they were doing before, they didn't ask specifically to do this, to set some of these monitors. You may have seen them around these boxes that they're setting out. Okay, they didn't specifically ask, could they set 2 of these up on the levee? And so now they've come back and decided they want to set 2 of these up on the levee. So they're asking additional permission to do that. We have their bond. They've already put the $5,000 bond up for the other work. And like I said, I don't know that we would recommend from your standpoint that they need to fill out any more paperwork. They've done everything with the Corps and us that we've asked them to do, but they have their own form. I think it's just that they need that they want us to execute. Like I said, I had Keith has looked at it and says how we made one little change in it. It talks about you owning mineral interest, which you don't, so we just have changed that to legal interest in this property. So we just need a motion for chairman to execute this for them.
What's the will of the body? Heard the request.
I move the action.
Second.
Second.
Then moved and properly second that we execute the document that from Denbury on shore, allowing them to place 2 monitors.
Yes.
On the levee. That's the question. Any questions or discussion? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carried. I'll get the sign, sir.
Yes, sir.
I don't know about that. Okay, next item on the agenda is the maintenance report. Gary?
Thank you, Mayor. Let you know that we have, obviously, we're cutting grass now. We've been over to the Hinds County side fortification over the weekend, we're mowing grass. We also have our equipment that we leased on a 6-month term. We are now on Prairie Branch doing some channel improvements down through there, repairing some slopes. We're also, this week, we'll be receiving some riprap to build the 5 weir section that they plan to do this year along that Prairie Branch. What we call Prairie Branch is starting to erode and deeper and deeper together. So we will go in there and build 5 different weir sections along that channel. That bring the elevation back up to a more manageable elevation. We'll be doing that work this week. Everything else is fine. Officer drive in, we get any point time. Let answer any additional questions.
Any questions?
Thank you.
I guess, Gary, I had one. Back a few months ago, I expressed an interest in trying to see some of these, these creeks and chutes, and since I'm from the other side of the river, I may not be familiar with all that. Is there any way we can arrange maybe at some point to somebody suggested a Flowood, I don't know about that, but just to go and look at physically some of the things that.
Every one of our channels, we should be able to drive,
Okay.
and the levee sections obviously are easy for us to access. We're glad to arrange a time for any or all of the board members to go out and spend a couple hours, just drive around, look at these levees and things in the channels. Do something you want to try to do this month, or?
Not this month, but,
Okay. All right.
going out dry season.
Okay. Well, if you could, we'll send you out a few days.
Okay.
Different
If
times.
anybody else is interested, there may not be any interest there, but I will be.
Well, as long as you take security with you, if you're going to northeast end, you'll be fine.
Northeast.
Yeah.
What's up?
It's a very interesting site.
Oh,
you take it on guy.
Yeah, that's right. I told him, no, I didn't think so.
I'll make contact with everybody through email and give a couple of dates that fit y'all's schedule.
Okay.
Right.
All right, Keith, I guess you have a number of items to cover with us today, so we'll turn it over to you.
All right, first on the list is the agreement with Perimeter Vision Foundation. This is what we discussed, voted 2 meetings ago during the resolution to go forward with having PRB get involved to help us work on moving this flood study forward. And this memorializes some of the details between the district and PRB, specifically identifies the scope of services and their project team for which they're proposing to use. If y'all have any questions on that, that's the first item.
Any questions on the PRB health agreement? This captures what we had talked about
Yes,
earlier.
sir. This is done in a phased approach. This is really the first step in the work that we're going to be asking them to help us with. And that is, getting the project back redirected towards preferably, hopefully a 211 approach, but also kind of doing a first step study, look at the lower lake being feasible.
We talked about this a little bit the weekend, the term on the term of the agreement. And you said the termination clause will allow for a 30-day.
It has a termination clause, yes, sir.
But the scope deals with the initial interaction with the Corps.
That's right. It is limited in itself also.
So will this agreement then lapse or not be in effect after this scope is completed, and then we have to do another agreement?
No, I think, assuming that everything goes forward and we're able to get what we hope to do over the next month or so, we would move forward on the scope of services. Once it's completed, we can do an amendment to it and add additional scopes, additional services to it.
All right. Any questions?
Mr. Chairman, this 7-member board, is it the same as the consultants? Is it a different group? I'm not sure it was presented, but I don't recall what it's been.
May we address the board, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, I believe you'd be in a position to answer that question. I'm not, so.
Dallas.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, Mr. Garrett. Yes, the list of contractors that we have proposed to utilize is, again, Engineer Blake Mindrop Wages, Matthew Miller, Guest Consultants, Derek Stallings with SOL Engineering, Mike Goff of Wildlife Technical Services, and Sam Bailey here with Legal Services. Our PRB board, Corporate Revision Foundation board, will consist of Joe Lauderdale, Howard Catchings, Rankin-Hinds, David Russell, Joe Haney, Leroy Walker, and Rodney Shannon. So we have like an oversight board of directors, and then the sub-consultants I listed earlier would be the consultants underneath the board.
Well, congratulations on your diversity inside the board. Subcontracts, good to see this, diversity this morning.
Yes, sir.
So I appreciate that effort.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions? Well, if it's the will of the body, I think it'd be appropriate for us to adopt this or accept this or approve this, I guess. This agreement so it can be executed. So the chair will entertain a motion to that effect.
So move adoption.
It's been properly moved and seconded that the agreement between the levy board and PRBF be adopted by this body. That's the question. Any discussion? Comments? All in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Next.
All right, next item is the conflict of interest policy. This has arisen as a result of discussions with the Corps of Engineers and their concerns about the structure that we're proposing, and they'd asked that we put together a conflict of interest. This was drafted up and circulated. Subsequently, we've gotten some feedback from PRB that they may have some comments to it. And also, I wanted to point out as it's written right now, this is a district-wide conflict of interest policy for all contractors, consultants, sub-consultants and such. And we can modify it if need be to be specific to the project, if that's your wishes. Also, we can, if y'all are interested, we can go ahead, y'all can vote on this as it is, and we can, if there's any material, we can come back to you as far as PRB's comments. But at this time, we've not received their comments, they got it late, and they have not gotten back to us on what specifics they had that they were concerned about. But we cannot proceed forward, I should also finally say that the Corps really wants this in place before we're able to sit down with the district and PRB folks and the Corps. They really wanted this in place first. It's an important step we have to take.
Any thoughts on how we proceed on this?
Are we ready to act on this?
Well, I guess that's the question. If there's some comments or questions out there, we have a couple of them. Scarborough and there. Rhodes not here today. I don't know how. You say this is fairly basic. You're going to try to narrow it down to be more project specific.
Well, we can if that's the board's wishes. Right now, it's written in such a way that it applies to all contractors and consultants in the district.
Mr. Chairman, is this report is being driven by the Corps? Is this a Corps initiative, or is this something that we decided internally?
This was the Corps, when we sat down about 2 months ago with the Corps, kind of had a preliminary discussion about why we wanted to go to 211 and what the reasons were. The Corps was concerned about the structure of how we were putting the deal together and wanted to have some sort of conflict of interest policy to prevent any undue benefits being placed upon a particular party. So this was to address the Corps' concerns. They really wanted this in place before they wanted to sit down with us. I don't know if the Corps is here today. If they want to address it, they want to speak. Well, it was Henry who brought it up, so, but I mean.
Well, it was our office council brought it up, the chief council brought it up.
Right.
So you check it out,
We drafted this, yes. Yes, sir.
I think you say had some comments that were not.
PRB. I mean, the focus of this is, as of, because it's for this project, we've asked PRB to give us their comments and feedbacks as well. Because they'll be the first one that applies to it. It's broad because it applies to their team, not just PRB folks specifically. So they've got to get back to us. And Sam may have some comments.
May I speak, Mr. Chairman? Sam Begley, representing the Pearl River Vision Foundation. The comments will be tied specifically to the scope of work that we are providing. As you see, we have a number of professionals, engineers, and they have conflicts of interest policies and requirements that they are to meet in connection with their many clients, other government boards. As an aside, the Pearl River Vision Foundation, when it amended its bylaws, set up a conflict of interest policy with the board members and then even do business with the board. And it's a disclosure due right provision that is consistent with what is currently expected of 501c3 organizations. But we looked at this broad policy, and we believe we will be having some comments immediately. We don't think that they necessarily will be material, and we will get them to you, and we don't want to slow this down in any way. We'll stop right there.
Okay, well, in terms of timing, I guess one of the questions, I understand that we can't engage, or our representative in this case can't engage the Corps without this policy being in place.
That's what we were told by the legal counsel really at Corps here. They wanted this in place first.
So how soon do you anticipate, now that we've signed this agreement, getting to the Corps? And that's a PRB question.
Mr. Chairman,
I'd like to just inquire, has Mr. Turner been given direction from the Corps about what the conflict of interest policy should consist of? Or were we told generally that the Corps wants a conflict of interest policy of this body, and that you all were left, to divide them? And I would hate to see us go provide something and tell this is good. Is that what's going on with the Turner?
Well, my conversations with their legal counsel were designed, that's what we designed this around, conversations with what he was concerned about, specific issues.
Okay. Understood. And I think those are addressed. We just want to make sure that anybody that has any ownership interest, if there's some disclosure there, is that it?
Yeah, it's any kind of economic benefit. Other than the broad, obviously, benefit of having a contract between the parties. And it's difficult to draft this thing, that's why we, struggle with it.
Well, it is. And, but I can tell you that per order revision and the professionals that we retain, have in their professions adhere to the highest standards. And that, and one of the things that has been asked of this board, for instance, was that the primary landowner put the land in trust, which that trust instrument has been conveyed, to this board, which we thought fully addressed the issue. So, but we'll be talking with you about this policy, and hopefully it will be, finalized properly and satisfactorily to the Corps, because I think it would just be, not in the public interest to have wait for another month to go by before the Corps will even talk to this levy board through per order revision because of some, unspecified concern or concern that we don't fully know how broad and narrow that is. Am I making any sense?
I agree with what you're saying, and I think, everybody wants to get the meeting set up, but I think, we have to have some policy in place at some point before we're moving forward, so.
You've got a group of prominent Jacksonians come together, offer to help, and now we're told by the Corps that there's difficulties with conflicts of interest. And I just...
We hear you, Council.
Yeah.
We need to know whether or not we can move forward with this. I think Mr. Baker raised the point, we don't need to wait 30 days. But I'm not sure, Mr. Turner says that we can pass it today and tweak it later with some other, I guess, based on comments, based on discussions, based on research, whatever. What's the will of the body?
I've been on this board 7 years, I'd like to move.
What is, the tweaks that we make to it, assuming that we do make some, would there be more, would there be more requirements, or would there be less requirements? Or do we have any idea what?
I think that may be the concern, is if what we passed today is not what will be in effect, and that's because it's going to be 6 weeks. I mean, does it make sense to get, I think Charles President, somehow to adopt this by poll or something, I don't know.
Well, first of all, this policy is not something that you're obligated to require by statute to do, so anything that you pass, obviously, is beyond what you require. Well, we could have, if you all would like us to, we could make it such that it's a policy to which, satisfies core and PRB
I guess what I'm hearing you say is in order for us to have any further discussions with the Corps, we have to have this in place, or something.
that is what
this
is
needs to be in place.
yes.
If we put this in place today, we can come back at any time and make changes to it as necessary. Is that correct, sir?
Mr. Chairman, I think it's far reaching in terms of item D here on 4.4. And my colleague, Mr. Speed, seems to be ready to move, but it's almost like
Where are you?
on 4.41. It seems like we're going far beyond what's required in identifying potential conflicts of interest. Is almost as if it's a document designed to disqualify city members on the board. So I have some unreadiness about that. I think heavily of wisdom of our attorney. Apparently he drafted this document. But I agree it's far beyond what's required by the statute.
Did you say concern about members of the board, is that what?
I'm saying all of these in 4.4. Things for contractors, subcontractors, and each entity's immediate family interest. It's a bit overwhelming as to what it really means.
As a follow, what is the remedy in here for interest potential if a conflict exists? What's the, is it a declaration of conflict or is it, what's the remedy?
Well, I mean, you have termination rights, and then they have the opportunity, they can correct it as well before they terminate. I mean, it's declaration has to be done, so you can determine whether or not there is actually a conflict.
Mayor,
Sir.
I think it's a simple solution to this thing. Everyone knows we're North Jackson, all of them. We all have interest in this thing. Some of them own land, some of them have land that's going to be taken by the project. What this is an attempt to draw a contract that envisions every eventuality that may happen. Somebody may put, I have a grandchild, and probably put something in his name. Contracts can't enforce good faith. What we need to do is disclose anything that any microgroup has that would be affected by this project. And this board is empowered to determine what to do about it. All they have to do is condemn it just like the rest of them. What my understanding is, most of the meaning was taking the land and making it public land and then leasing it to get the return to build a project. That would take care of most of your concerns about people who have an interest in this thing. I think all of us, including the board, have an interest in the betterment of Jackson. That's what I think the purpose is. So what we would do is we would disclose any interest we have in any entity that may be in our family or anything like that. You make the determination how you will deal with it on the specifics of that particular situation. That's what I was suggesting.
And I think the policy contemplates that type of disclosure. And we've already provided a disclosure and a trust instrument for a large tract of property.
So does that mean that there's no need to go further tweaking the project, the policy?
I think we need to go forward to tweak the policy. I'm more concerned about talking to all these engineers and that we've got on board, because you notice it's a contract with policy. Per revision is not, I mean, in the classic sense, it's not a contractor, it's a charitable foundation. We're going to hire people who normally contract, you know, like engineers and experts. And we've just been getting some feedback from them about how they can abide by this, you know, and so that's where, I think that's where the feedback is going to come. Some of these folks we've hired have done business with many governmental bodies, including the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. So I think their feedback will be helpful coming up with a final document that they can work with. And like Mr. McGowan said, the folks that, you know, that have land
that may give money per revision, they're going to disclose. And in one instance, put that in trust.
Okay, we're ready to move now. I don't get a sense, it looks like we're, I don't get a sense of where we are. I guess if we move now and adopt this policy, the tweaking can be reported back to us at the next meeting. And if there's a need to amend it, we can do it at that point. Would that be satisfactory? Okay. If that's the case, and that's the will, can we have a motion to adopt this policy? Steve, is there a second?
I'll say.
Mayor, the properly moved and second that we adopt the policy, the contractor conflict of interest policy